This is how my day one account looks like. Welcome back to Cocky Gachas, and in this video I'm going to showcase my account. Firstly, before 1.4 I want to document like how my account looks like and also share with you guys, because you guys might be wondering, hey, does this guy even play the freaking game, or is he trying to smoke us with all this information that he came up with? So just to showcase my account, what I have effectively spent on the game, and also what characters I have and certain decisions I've made in the past with regards to pulling on banners, and also my future plans, so that potentially you guys can also replicate it or can apply it to your own account based on the same logic principles, right, if you wish to do so. So first up, we have my characters. You can see this is a pretty decent roster. I have Black Dwarf, Melania, Teferi, Nubabel, A-Knight, Beacon, Necrologist, Balloon Party, as well as Eternity and Sotheby. The rest, I don't think it is that notable. I hardly use them at all, so I wouldn't really say that they are part of my active roster, right? So it's just like the NBA roster, you only have certain slots, and these are my active roster, so to speak, and I'm going to touch more on this and how they came to be, right, these characters. But next, we're going to take a look at my clear drops. You can see clearly people always say that I must have spent a lot on this game to obtain so much clear drops, but the truth is I consider myself an extremely light spender. I only buy Roaring Month and the Battle Pass. That is all that I spend on this game, nothing else. Not even those special rookie banners, like I don't buy those at all. You can tell, right? Even the rookie shopping day, I haven't bought it at all. Rookie special, nothing of this. Just Roaring Month and Battle Pass. Pretty disciplined if you were to ask me. And also, to show you guys my resources, you guys might be a bit shocked. I have quite a lot of resources, because this game is extremely generous when it comes to giving you stamina, especially if you buy the Roaring Month. You have so much stamina that you can farm endless amounts of resources, even though most of, if not all of my characters are actually invested. So you can see so much of this Cacophony, Dissonance. The only thing that I'm really technically lacking is the Psycubes Polarization, but still I can also go for 2 more max Psycubes, right, from what I've calculated, and also including the 1.4, I potentially will get 2 if not more Psycubes to max. And also for my Psycube investments, you can see I have a Luxurious Leisure completely max and full amplification. I have saved up 2 Gluttonies. I also have some of the thoughts later I can show you guys. 2 Gluttonies. I have of course Inquisitive Deer, and then Yearning Desire. This was a really good MVP, right? Once I realized it was good, I just maxed it out and it hasn't disappointed me so far. The Wonderland, I didn't really invest in it, so I only have effectively 5 Psycubes over here, and this 2 I don't even bother to max it out, because I can clear current content without having this 2 maxed out and even go further beyond, right? So level 40 is what I use them on, and I'm just saving up for 2 significant Psycubes, 1 in balance, please. Silent Adoring, I'm probably planning to max, but the next significant one is going to be Long Night's Talk. So that is my Psycube situation. As for the warehouse, if I were to go into the bank, you can see for yourself how much of these fragments I have left. I could buy another Gluttony, but I'm probably going to save up, just saving up, because I can never buy out 2 Gluttonies, right, anyways, and I'm not planning to buy any of these Psycubes. And if you are asking me why I don't buy further Psycubes, right, like Blasphemer of Night, all of this extra Psycubes like his Bounded Duty that I do recommend, it's because I already have a good roster, and after all, you only use 4 Psycubes, right? And like I mentioned, there are more Psycubes that are coming that I'm interested in, so all of these Psycubes are not within my considerations to buy either a second copy or a copy of which. And then you can see Yearning Desire is already maxed, so this is the Psycube situation. As for the rest of the shops, I always buy out the Unilock. This is simple, right? I can refer to my guide itself on the shopping one, and if I really have enough, I would buy out the Voyager copy. I really need it, because from my current roster, I don't think I can triple S within the first half. Potentially, given that I get 6, then I'll definitely be able to triple S Sea Serpent Raid, so that is my plan. And also, as for Limbo, I have no problems with Limbo, except for the first week whereby I did not fully clear Limbo. The rest of the weeks I have full cleared Limbo, and even now I don't have any problems with Limbo, so it's really not that difficult, the content right now, especially for day 1 player. For beginners, I do understand the difficulty have definitely ramped up. Before current Limbo, right, my Beacon, Necrologist, as well as Balloon Party are at I2. They were ready to be actually going to i3, but I just refused to i3 them because I thought that the content wasn't that difficult. With this current limbo, I needed beacon to be at i3, and since we are approaching 1.4 already, I just decided I need to i3 all of them, preparing for raids. So that was the significant progression from my character's standpoint. And as for this characters, now I want to touch more into it and their pool decisions that I've made, right? So when I started the game, my beginner banner was actually Eternity, so I got Eternity. She was a great help for me, cleared all the content that I needed to. Limbo, very helpful, especially with the difficulty being lower back then, right? I250 as well as Resonance 9, Eternity was able to clear Limbo very comfortably. And then here you can see Sotheby, right, which people always say is a bad healer, but back then I specifically put on the Sotheby banner to get Sotheby. In fact, I think I got an off banner A Knight, and then I got a Sotheby. So both on Sotheby's banner, I got Sotheby specifically because I lacked the healer, and that is what I talk about, right? If you need to pull, you need to pull. So I pull because I need to clear content, and even until today, I feel that Sotheby is still very helpful. In fact, current Limbo, I actually use a team of Beacon, Sotheby, as well as 2 Fairy to clear the Lilia raid, and it wasn't the most difficult. I would say it's quite challenging, but not the most difficult. I think I got it within 2 or 3 tries, and Sotheby was really great with the poison. Of course, right, it wasn't technically a useless card, and of course the main carry was Beacon there, and I didn't need Jessica at all. So that was when, before even 1.0, that was my condition of my box. I had A Knight, I had Sotheby, I had Eternity, and then moving into 1.1, that was when a lot of people were saying 1.1 is a full skip, so they wanted to skip Melania, they wanted to skip Pickles, but what I saw was that my box lacked a single target DPS, and a beast DPS was also going to be great because I noticed that the upcoming Limbos really needed it. Hence, I just went ahead and pulled for Melania, and also that was part of my plan to plan for raids already. So back in 1.1, I was really planning for 1.4 to go for raids, so I put for Melania. Great decision. After all, now everyone realized their mistake of not pulling for Melania. Regardless, I always stand true to what I think is right, so I put for Melania. That was in 1.1, I skipped Pickles. And then in 1.2, of course, that was the famous 2 Fairy banner. I definitely have to go for it. Everyone knew that 2 Fairy was really good, so I put for 2 Fairy. And also notable, right, when I went for Melania, I did lose the 50-50 and got New Babel. Of course, I left New Babel alone until recently, but back to 2 Fairy. Yeah, 2 Fairy was a must pick, so I definitely put for 2 Fairy. And then everyone was saying that Jessica was so strong, was so good, but I looked at my box and I saw A Knight. A Knight is an MVP character. Even until today, I just cleared the Matrix Limbo with A Knight, right, instead of using Melania, even though she is the Beast Afflictors. A Knight just completely wrecked the Matrix, freaking OP. People still underestimate A Knight for some reason. Regardless, A Knight was my Jessica substitute, so I didn't need Jessica, and that was my reasoning back then on skipping Jessica. You can even see the link to the video, right? In fact, the one that I made, a lot of people disliked it. They thought that I was underrating Jessica, even though the title really clearly said that Jessica was OP, and I think Jessica was OP. I just didn't think that I needed her because I don't think I will have much problem clearing content, and that is a waste of my pools, and turns out it is the case. So I stand by my decision. For people that have Jessica, of course, right, I'm not saying your Jessica is bad, it's just that I realized that A Knight could replace her technically, right, to a certain extent. So that was 1.2. Subsequently going into 1.3, once again people said 1.3 was a skip banner, but I evaluated my situation and said that there was a Marsh creation rate coming in. Although I had Melania, the fact was also I had a lot of pools, so you can't technically just keep skipping everything, right? Especially since I have the Roaring Month, I have a bit more pools, and I just went ahead to get Black Dwarf, and just so happens I got lucky and got a P1 on Black Dwarf in a single 10 pool. So I think in total I spent 30 pools for P1 Black Dwarf. That was pretty worth it, right, if I were to say so myself, and she has been pretty fun to use. I wouldn't say she's absolutely necessary to my team, but she's fun to use, and it didn't affect my pool income by much anyway. So that was what I was saying, and my approach to pulling was always I want a new character. I don't care about portraits, so accidental portraits come my way, sure, I can get lucky. But if I really want to advocate for people, right, I would say go for variety instead of going for portrait. So yeah, that was back then. So that is 1.3, which is also current, right? And then subsequently, all of these characters, right, Necrologist was an easy investment because raids are coming, I really spoke quite highly of her, and informant content, I find her to be very, very good. And Balloon Party is really a premier healer, so nothing too much to speak of. And the only controversial one is New Babel. And the reason why I invested in New Babel is because I really have too much resources. You can see for yourself, my warehouse is full of resources. I decided not going to hurt my box, so just going to invest in New Babel despite the fact that she is not that favorable or that good of a 6-star unit, right? So for people that are lacking resources, please do not just invest in New Babel. I don't think she's going to be that necessary. So even if you have 37, right? So is the case regardless, I have New Babel now. So this is my current roster, and the decision it went into getting this entire roster as well as coming up with the rest of my pool income. And as for moving forward, my plan for my account when it comes to pooling, of course you guys know that I'm going to pool for 37 tomorrow. In fact, I'll be hosting a viewer pool session. Registrations have already closed, so good luck to everyone that are pooling tomorrow in the viewer session. You can drop by if you want to see how it goes, right? So I'm pooling for 37. I'm pulling for 6 for sure, but just to note here, right, when it comes to pool decisions, I usually plan for one patch ahead, unless it is a character that it's forecasted to be very, very good. So I pull more for meta, and as you know already, right, this channel is based on min-maxing. Everything is going towards min-maxing. I don't really care about waifu, this and that. So yeah, that is my strategy. And for 1.6, definitely I'm going to pull Chinyang. For 1.7, Isot is probably going to be a must pull as well. So outside of that, right, the rest of the banner planning, I am very flexible. So 1.5, in fact, I might be leaning towards pulling Spatolia, but it entirely have to depend on how many pulls I take to get both 37 and 6. If I don't have enough pulls left, then I'll have to start saving for 1.6 Chinyang. Otherwise, then I have the luxury, just like I mentioned, right? The same thing goes for Black Dwarf. I had more pulls than I need, hence I can just spend them. Because after all, right, just saving for specific banners with so much of access is just doesn't make any sense at all, right? So this is my plan. So potentially I might pull for Spatolia. That is a luxury pool. It's not a mandatory pool. If I don't have pools, I will not go for it. And as for 1.6, it's just Chinyang. Tian doesn't look that good in my opinion, so probably going to skip. I also don't like the Birdman, so yeah, I don't really need him. And then in 1.7, we have only seen Isot. I haven't seen the Marcus kit, so I cannot really tell whether I'm going to pull for Marcus. So this is my plan moving forward, and I also advocate you guys to actually have a more flexible plan, right? Don't be too rigid when it comes to like strictly only pulling for meta. Sometimes also have some fun, right? If you have extra, right, then you can't spend it anywhere, right? Just like holding your money or holding your clear drops to your grave, your Unilogs to your grave. There's no point. Who knows when you will quit, right? So at the end of the day, still have to focus a bit on your personal enjoyment. If it makes you have some fun, just like with the Black Dwarf and the balls, right? I have a lot of fun, right? Just seeing the follow-up attacks and then seeing that freaking huge ball like just dropping down on the enemies. I have fun doing that, so I'm just gonna pull for her. So this is what it is, right? It's not like she's a bad character anyway, so I'm just drawing the balance there, and I hope that you guys can also reference some of my pulling decisions to draw the balance for yourself. Now, of course, with me mentioning my pull decisions, right, a lot of it also hinges on the amount of pulls that you're potentially going to get, and one notable one is going to be 1.4. If you're interested to seeing the breakdown, right, definitely check out this video. And this is it for my account progression, account showcase. I'll see you guys over there. This is Corky Gachas, signing off.